Hi again, YouTubers. So this is a review on a product by Hourglass, and it is a bronzer called the Ambient Lighting Bronzer, and this is Luminous Bronze Light. This is the lighter of the two. They do have two of these. I will show you what a swatch looks like on my finger. It doesn't look very dark when you see it like this, but it has a nice bronzy tone to it. Very warm, has a slight sheen to it. When these first came out, I was like, there is no way I'm going to like this bronzer. No way. It's just, I don't tend to gravitate towards any bronzer that has any sheen to it, much less one that's considered an ambient lighting one, which the whole purpose of those is reflecting light. So I was like, there's no way. But then I heard people talking about it and I said, all right, I'll give it a shot. So I did pick it up. As I said, I don't tend to go towards ones with shimmer. My favorite bronzers, if you go back to any of my videos, my favorite bronzers are always bronzers that are matte bronzers. And so when I decided to purchase this, I was just really, really skeptical, and I got it, and it kind of sat here for a little bit because I really didn't think it was going to work for me. Then I started kind of playing with it here and there and using it little bits. And I was really, really, really shocked that it quickly became a favorite bronzer of mine, and one that when I wore it, people really said, oh, that looks really great. So it does come in their typical packaging. It is large. It's the size of the ambient lighting powders. The blushes are much smaller, just to give you an idea. The powders are actually in a darker color, which I actually prefer this because it doesn't show fingerprints as bad as this one. But that being said, I will add a clip here of how I tend to apply it to the bronzer and the brush. And the brush I tend to use is this one right here. I just used it. It is the Tom Ford bronzer brush. It is just called the Bronze. It is ridiculously expensive, but it is amazing. I just tend to tap it in, tap it off, and then I put it on my face. I'm just going to put it on my neck now because I don't want any more on my face. It is interesting because this was the only bronzer I used when I went out at night all summer long, the entire summer. And the reason for that is it actually gives you a really healthy summertime glow, but it also, if you in the summertime are out in the sun at all, you tend to get a little bit of that redness undertone to your skin. This bronzer mimics that perfectly. So it actually blends in very nicely and looks very natural, and it looks like your skin, and it mimics that actual little bit of pink undertone that you do tend to get, which is really unusual for a bronzer. Most bronzers tend to err on the side of more of a red orange undertone, which can look too orange very quickly and oxidize and make you look like an Oompa Loompa. Or they tend to go more on the olive side, which if you have skin tone like me, tends to give you more of a green undertone, and that just does not look good. Let's just say that straight out. So I am really shocked that I love this much, but I mean, I love this. Love it. I have not touched another bronzer. Now during the day, I do have a different bronzer I use, but that's just because when I go to the gym or when I'm outside or things like that, I don't want to look oily or greasy. And I worry about, I haven't ever tried this with that, but maybe I should. This thing is just the only bronzer I have used since I started getting it and liking it, and really, really got into using it at the beginning of the summer. So if you were hesitant on this, like I was, this is shockingly great. So let me give you a little bit of a breakdown here of my information. So pigmentation on this, the pigmentation is actually gorgeous because it really, with those swirls in there of the ambient lighting powder, it really gives you a nice look. It gives you a smooth, balanced look. It isn't any one color. It doesn't have too much pigmentation that as soon as you set the brush down, it just leaves everything there. It blends amazingly. It is just a very, very nicely pigmented blush. Really well balanced with the ambient lighting powder and the bronzer in them together. So it's a good solid 5 out of 5. Texture. This thing is so incredibly smooth. It's just words can't even explain. It is so smooth and so soft. Just an amazing soft, creamy texture, even though it's a powder. So 5 out of 5. Longevity. Now here's something that's interesting with me. Bronzers. I stopped using self-tanners on my face this summer when I started the Rodenfield skincare. And with that, anytime previously when I have ever used no self-tanners on my face, the bronzers don't stick. The color doesn't stay. Halfway through the day, I look pale again. This has stayed. Ridiculous, like shocking. This is just awesome. I am so amazed by it. So longevity is a 5 out of 5. Application, I think it's super easy. You can use any type of brush you want. Any type of contour, like direct brush will work. Any type of big fluffy brush will work. That is just the brush that I love with it. Application is so easy. It blends amazing. It is just so easy to work with. 5 out of 5. Packaging, it's fine. As I said, I prefer the dark one because of the fingerprints that get all over this. I just think that looks bad after a while. But the packaging itself, I like how they open. I like the movement of it. I find it to be very easy to get in and out of. One side has the opening, the other side you can hold on to, makes it very easy. Packaging's a 4 out of 5. Price on this is the only kind of sticker to it. Sticker as in, like, sucks. It is $50. Most Hourglass prices are a little bit more on the pricey side because they are completely animal cruelty free. They, you know, their products really are top of the line. I will give them credit for that, but it is really expensive for a bronzer. But the other side is I have been using this all summer long and I don't even look like I have even remotely made a dent in this thing. Like, it's not even dented. So, I mean, it's going to last you a really long time, and bronzers generally do. So if I'm going to be using one consistently, I will pay this for it, and I would buy this again. When I run out of this, I would buy this again. So price on this is kind of bad, 3.5 out of 5, I would say. Product overall, though, I would say this is a good, solid 4.5, almost a 5. The packaging and the price bring you down, so it's a good, solid 4.5 out of 5. I really, truly was shocked by this. If you are like me and you are a matte bronzer person, give this a shot. You will be shocked. Also, if you tend to have a little bit more of a pink undertone, give this color a shot. You would be shocked. The darker one, I'm not sure of. Definitely play around with that. Go in, try it in the store. The only place I know that Hourglass is sold is Sephora. So I will put the link for that below. If you have any other questions on this, please let me know. And let's see here, what else I'm wearing on my face. Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Tarte CC Corrector, Dior Star Concealer under my eyes, Makeup Forever Duo Matte Powder, the Hourglass Bronzer. Blush today is Tom Ford, I think it's called Frantic Pink. That is everything on my face. On my eyes, I have on the NARS Pro Prime Benefit Gimme Brow. Then on my lid, I have on the Clinique Pink Chocolate palette, another palette that looks dirty all the time. I use that. I have on the new, oh, loving this, Estee Lauder Little Black Liner. This is by far the best liner I've ever used. Long story. Anyway, I'll give you a review on that later. Mascara is Benefit Roller Lash. It's everything on my eyes. On my lips is Makeup Forever 2C. And the new Estee Lauder, what is this? Pure Color Envy in 410 Vague Obsession. Talk about obsession. I'm obsessed with this color. It's the only thing I've been using since I got it. Regular earrings. I've got on the Melia necklace, which I love. I forget about this one. I brought it out randomly today. The Sawyer Stretch cream color bracelet, the Christina Link, the Renegade Cluster, and then I have on this wrist with my watch, I have on the engravable cuff with MJ's initials, my David Yurman ring, my regular rings. Shirt is old, from a little boutique. I don't even remember. I got it in the city years ago. It's cute. It's blue and white. It has lace at the bottom. It's super cute. I love it. My hair is just bumped back on the top and then back in a ponytail. My hair is getting done today. So excited. Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.